When you guys took on your roles, did you consult the kind of first generation? Because I feel like you all have mirrors to the first generation of stars. Did you talk to them about taking on these roles, or did you prefer to just put your own stamp on it?
I didn't.
No, I think it was, of course, I when I finally got the role, I watched Terminator 1 and 2 again. I just wanted to, have it fresh, and I was like, yeah, it's actually a cool movie, to remember that. And, I think, it's such a great movie, and Linda Hamilton was back and James Cameron was back, and I'm like, they are back, and we just want to create. I think that's why they hired Tim, they wanted something fresh and cool and still have, those elements that were back then. So I think it was a matter of also just doing it today and with new people, and I think that's what we did.
I watched both films. I've probably seen them hundreds of times at this point, and I also was, when I was auditioning, going through the process, it was about a 4.5 month process. I just stumbled upon this podcast where Robert Patrick was talking about his experience, his entire experience through the audition process, and I was like, holy moly, this is almost exactly what I'm going through. This is absolutely identical to the experience I'm having. And just the stunt assessments and the boot camp we went through and all this other stuff. And so I definitely looked towards those two guys, but when I asked Arnold, he just said, he's like, you're gonna be fine, just do your thing, and just everything is effortless, you know? And then just took that to heart.
I feel like one of the things, speaking of things being effortless, is the stunts and action scenes all come up so smoothly. So what was that training experience? I think especially Grace is the unique character, because you've got that element of the human response to those kinds of action scenes, but also have this heightened ability. So how was that for you, kind of taking on that? You're in this gray area between the two.
I don't know. I think it was a subject of a lot of discussion. Tim always wanted me to be a little bit more effortless, I think, than I was in the movie. But I was like, I think it's amazing she can do this in the first place. It should still be kind of hard or affect her. I think that she can do it at all is already incredible. He may have been right. It was great. It was really challenging and taxing and invigorating, and it felt like something that I every day I was like, why did you cast me? Because it was just so outside of until the last day. It was just so new for me, but that made it so exciting and cool that he believed in me.
I liked it that you had a little bit, exertion and everything. It just because it's because we have this great scene. She has a sledgehammer, and I kept thinking this is a John Henry story. She's John Henry, and I'm the steam drill, and we're both going in the mountain. And she went, and she's using her
the humanity,
strength, her humanity to try to press forward.
And I think with Danny's character as well, she doesn't have any of that training that Grace or Rev 9 have, in terms of that's what she's coming from. You're just you live and work and you're a normal person, and then all of a sudden thrust into this world. So what was that like in terms of changing your physicality throughout the film?
I think the whole shooting, we were shooting for 6 months, so that was actually it, just being there and, getting to know these women around me and getting to know Linda and see the work and just of course training and getting to know the story, and that was the journey of my character, just getting together with these women and just getting to know each other and getting stronger with them. So I think it was kind of the journey that we also did shooting. But I was, it's just a normal girl, and she just gets stronger. So she's just learning from all this world and all these characters, and it was actually what I was going through. So it was kind of easy.
And it's interesting you brought up being around women. I feel like that was watching it. I was kind of like, oh my God, it felt really fresh and novel in a sad way, because you get to see all these women kind of taking on these action roles. So both in front of the camera and behind it, was it meaningful to have a kind of group of women that you could work with in this way?
Yeah, it was amazing, but my answer to these questions is always that it's amazing to get good roles as an actress. That's what feels more important than being strong women and
Right.
doing this. You want to play a whole host of interesting, diverse, weak, strong, funny, strange characters. And anytime you get a good role, I mean, what a cool gift. Any of these women, and they're all different, I would have loved to play, and it would have been a really different experience. So I think just having more good roles
Absolutely.
is the dream.
Yeah.
I'll say this, throughout the shoot, I was, to me, their grouping was, and I say it all the time, so it might be repetitive, but it's a pride of lionesses, right? And your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
And you look like you can probably join right in with them and just run along the prairie.
Life goal.
But that's what, that's the essence that that all of these individually powerful, people, and then they came together and they're moving, and the way that the fights are choreographed, and the way that when one is weak, the other kind of comes in and handles
it all
business, and then it
works
just kind of
together
like
really well.
overlaps really well. It's really cool.